Hello everyone, I'm so excited. I am doing a live today with Gina. So Gina is one of our incredible affiliates for this amazing event that we have coming up with Elena Cardone. So if you didn't check it out, there is a link for tickets in my bio. Hey Sarah, how are you doing, girl? So what I've been doing is basically spending about 15 minutes getting to know the affiliates over live and just really sharing why they're excited for this event. And also, hey Gina, just kind of getting a little bit more information out to you guys about the event, but also about the affiliates, why they're excited to hear from Elena Cardone, and also why they are personally passionate about the charity that has been chosen for this event. So today, Gina is going to be joining me. I'm so excited. So here she comes. She's going to accept my live. I see that she's here. So that's great. And you guys, Gina's amazing. I actually met her because she is a fellow 10Xer. So maybe you're like, what does that mean? So basically 10X is the mission that Grant Cardone and Elena Cardone started. So Grant, who is Elena's husband, coined the term 10X, basically meaning that you need to always 10X your output of what you want to achieve your goals. So he wrote his book called 10X Rule and many others. So it's been so nice to get to know other people in the community like Gina, for instance, who really just want the same things. I think that's also another reason why I really wanted to put on this event, because sometimes it's hard to find people that you really connect with. Maybe they don't have the same values as you, or they're not thinking big and they just don't have the same goals and purpose. And the thing that I love about Grant and Elena is they really have been trying to expand their 10X so more people are on board with just expansion, especially during times like now. I feel like it's even more important. Hey girl. I was like,
hey, how's it going?
I was like, is she gonna make it? I'm on this spot here, going off about Grant Cardone and Elena Cardone and the 10X rule. I was a little improv skills for
No, it's good. It's good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, thanks so much for just spending 15 minutes with me. I thought this could be fun. And I also am going to announce a nice giveaway that I'm doing today on our live. So
I love it. I love that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, totally. So, I'm going to write a post about you today, but I guess it'd be cool, if people rewatch this back later, maybe you can just share a little bit about yourself, what do you do, how you got into the world of Grant and Elena. That would be so awesome to hear. Yeah.
Yes, let's go back. Once upon a time, right?
Yeah.
So in my previous life, I worked in banking for 12 years at the Royal Bank of Canada, and I worked in various roles, but I always loved the lending side of the business. I love mortgages and real estate. And so I decided in 2006 to start investing, one or two properties. And I thought I was super hardcore. I thought I was the biggest real estate investor ever. And then I get out in the world, no, there's a lot to learn, right?
Yeah. Totally.
And then about 4 years ago, I started working for a developer.
Nice.
And that was awesome. And I'm still working there as well in Vancouver.
Cool.
And I'm just learning a lot, just being on the construction site, working with sales, marketing, homeowners, just every day is just you're learning new stuff, but you have to be like that, right?
Yeah, totally.
And I think, so the way I think I met or introduced to Elena and Grant was 4 years ago. I literally was homesick and I was sitting in my bed and I started Googling real estate, multifamily, right? Yeah. And this Grant guy, he kept popping up and I'm who the heck is this guy? And then I'm oh my goodness, this guy, I'm he's straight up and and that time their studio was very different to what it is now.
It totally was, right? If you watch some of the old G&E shows too, I was it's so different. It's cool to see how they've even expanded, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And then so I'm Elena started popping up into these her the videos and everything. I'm she's a cool chick. I want to get to know her somehow, right? Yeah. And then I attended the Growth Con in Miami first, and then and then Las Vegas, and we had our 10X Ladies event there. Yeah. And I was just I'm just so connected. And the things that I've taken away, readings and their material, it's just 10X my life. Amazing. Right? And this event happening that we're putting together with Elena, it's going to be awesome.
That's
right.
So you feel just by reading their books and applying what they do, you were able to achieve something.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So if I can do it, other people can do it. And I get messages all the time like, Gina, like, how did you get from here to there to there? And I'm like, these are the steps, right? And it's
Yes.
nothing like a secret. Like it's out there. And Elena's so like candid and very like open. And it's not like some celebrities are just like they don't share their secrets, right?
Yeah, they just like keep it to themselves. That's what I like about them
Yeah.
too, is like they're always like willing to share. And I feel like that's like the main thing with them that really like contributes to their mission, right? Is like they're like, okay, we've done this, like this is what we've built, like we've had this success, we're
Yeah.
like they've made this much money, they know how to run their business, they're like home life, like here are the tools, like let's share. And that's like with her book, like it literally tells you everything to like create.
I
Oh, you have it too. Look at that. It's like creating like
underlined. Yeah.
it is like the ultimate empire. So I think like
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing how you got into them, because sometimes people are like, they see our stories probably in passing, but they're like, who are these people, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So why are you like super excited about this online seminar with Elena? And if you're someone who doesn't know Elena, like what do you feel like you could get from just being at this seminar? The first time hearing from her. Yeah.
Honestly, like I connected like the 10X ladies calls and just going to the events and
Yeah.
everything else. It's just I know it's benefited me in so much and
Yeah.
just even increasing my real estate portfolio. I've learned so much and just putting myself out there
Yes.
and just attending events. Huge thing that they're always talking about is networking, being around the right people. What's your mindset? Protecting your empire, right? Who do you
Mm-hmm.
let in?
Mm-hmm.
All of that,
Oh yeah, that's
right?
so good. It's so
Right?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm huge about. I used to write my goals. So in banking, it was awesome because we would write our goals and talk about goal setting. But then
Yeah.
when I left banking and into like a different arena, like there was no like focus on employees and their development. I had
Yeah.
to put it on myself to do that, right?
Yeah.
So I write my goals day and night,
Yeah.
which is huge,
That I
right?
feel like that makes such a difference, because when you're like
Yeah,
really focusing on something, like you don't get, it's so easy to get distracted, like you can watch like one video on Instagram and then you start
yeah,
scrolling and then you realize you're like, oh my God, like I could have spent that 30 hours, like, or like 30 hours probably, but 30 minutes like
yeah,
on purpose, right? Or doing something
totally.
beneficial. So I love like even in her book, like there's an exercise that we're going to do on the call where people can like outline their own goals, their partner's goals, and like goals as a couple. So I feel like that's
Yeah,
so helpful for like creating that momentum and like really getting what you want in the future. Because I feel like I think we're both the same. Like we've always probably been goal setters, which is amazing. But sometimes like I know it can be like daunting where you feel like, wow, I'm never gonna achieve that. But like really,
exactly.
like you can, you just need like that plan and that consistency, right? So
Exactly. Exactly. And the right people around you. It makes a
yes,
huge difference. So even like this event, you're going to be networking with individuals who are thinking the same way.
yes.
And you're going to be also taking away a lot of things like best practices as well.
Totally. I love that you
Right?
mentioned that. And especially like this event is open to ladies, gentlemen, and couples. So it's like we're
Exactly.
basically creating this amazing space for people just to get to know each other. And I
Oh, for
mean,
sure.
we met online and it's like, oh, now we're like, oh, what can we do next? Right? It's like, imagine you just attend this event and then you meet people to build a product with or create a service or exchange products, sell products. Like I feel like leads are always generated in a community, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm attending that to get a lead, but I feel like you make genuine connections and someone's like always willing to help, like, which I think is the beautiful thing
Yeah.
about social media, right? That's
Oh,
cool.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, one of the events that was supposed to take place in March was
Yeah.
like the Grant Cardone
Oh
event
yes.
in Toronto,
Yeah.
but it's been postponed for next year. And then people were messaging me like, "How did you like, get on there?" I'm like, first of all, I'm not a public speaker, right? It takes
Yeah.
courage to like put yourself out there, but
Yes.
it's really just connecting with the right people in the right room and building that relationship over time, right? Because things don't just happen overnight. You can't expect somebody to be like, here you go,
Yes.
right? Everything's on this like silver platter, right? You got to build that relationship. And
Yeah.
you always think about what's best for that other individual, right?
Yes.
So just build yourself up that way, right? So it's just like, and then opportunities will come in.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up because I was talking with two of the other gals who have been like helping host that, and we said that like sometimes people get this like they create their own barrier, right? Where they're like, oh, I
For
could
sure.
never do an event with Elena, or I never do an event with Grant or Kevin Hart or these people. But it's like,
Yes.
oh, but maybe like you said, if you find what's good for them, like what did they like what's a charity that interests them, or you know what's something that they would be up for doing, and just ask.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty cool. Like I think we're very lucky, like everyone has their phone, so you can always somehow
Oh,
get
for sure.
communication with someone.
In touch. Yeah, this is such a great opportunity right now, even though with COVID-19 and a
Yes.
lot of us are at home, but this is a great time to focus on yourself,
Yeah.
right? Educate, build it up, right? And then when we're ready to open up into the real world, like you have like this time that you spent just to just educate your mind,
Yeah,
right?
that's actually a really good positive way to look at it. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I
We
have
need
heard,
it, right?
we do,
Yeah.
and I have heard from a few people like, wow, like this COVID thing gave me the opportunity to learn X or build a better relationship here. So I think that that's just another beautiful reason to attend this seminar. What was I going to say? I had another question for you. Okay, one other thing. What are you like really most excited to learn about, like your building your empire through this seminar? Like,
I'm just really want to pick Elena's brain. This is such a great opportunity to have her for ourselves, right?
yes,
And ask away just because, like, I know that any success, it's not like overnight success. Like,
yeah,
when you like research about her, it took many, many years and then many struggles and,
oh
people
yeah,
like turning on you, right?
mm-hmm.
But I just want to know just from her, like her best practices, right? Because you're going to have negative individuals, people hating on you, right? It could be family, it could be close
Mm-hmm.
friends. How
Oh
do you
yeah,
deal with those situations,
yeah,
right? In a nice, delicate manner, right? Kind of like, okay, that's great. You were great for this point of my life, but I want to like grow and progress, right? And you just don't want to like insult anybody, right?
no,
But
yeah. That's a very great point. Actually, like that's I'm gonna put that in there for sure, because I know she talks about in
yeah,
her book a lot too, right? It's like, yeah, like how do you know who to trust and who's in your inner circle? But like you can still have calm lines with people, but it's like how do you keep it to like just, those conversations where they don't get into things that could be heated, or
oh, for
upsetting. Because I'm sure we've all
exactly.
been there, right? Like there are those people that want to pry or have more questions. And it's like, how do you make them still feel good and like you feel like it's a genuine conversation, but without creating any sort of like upsets or difficulties, right?
Yeah,
Especially for
no,
us
for sure.
in the networking world, I feel like it's super important to like navigate and know how to handle
Yeah,
people, and she is like the
exactly.
best person for that. Like she handles people so well. I it's just such a good talent, like a natural thing about her. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I'm
exactly. I
talking
totally
about,
agree.
know.
Oh, I know. At the 10X event, ladies event, and just I got to meet her, and it's just like it was just so amazing because she's just so down to earth that the way she
Yes.
was just like, very calm and cool. And I think she's just really cool just to see her like she's shooting guns and doing things like in her own thing, but just even time management. Like how does she do it all? You know what I mean? She has these
Uh-huh.
like goals. She's going with Grant, looking at properties and she's like, you know what I mean? So it's just like time management as well, right?
Oh,
So
another goodie. It's like,
yeah,
how does she
right?
make the empire run? Because it's like, I know that she's
Oh,
on like outsourcing, right? So we'll definitely have to add that one in there too.
yeah, no, for sure. Let me write that down.
Do it, and like message me these later, and I'll watch it back. I'm like,
Yeah.
today I was going over the timeline, so I'm like, I have some similar ones, but I definitely want to add the few that we came up with in here because I'm like, those
No,
are
for sure.
golden nuggets. We all need
Yeah.
those.
No, pick her brain. Like
Oh,
this is like the best opportunity. And it's a good time for us because I know a lot of us, you know what, we'll just do the Netflix,
oh
right?
yeah, right.
Oh, you know what? You watch one episode and it just kind of like, two,
Takes you
three. Yeah.
takes you in, and
Yeah.
then before you know it, it's like 3 hours later, or like the other night, like I stayed up till 12 watching the Michael Jordan documentary, which was inspiring. But I was like, the next day I felt like a bit off, right? Because I'm like, I stayed up too late, and it's like, gotta have those goals, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Stay committed.
Beat the sun up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exercise, everything else, right? Goal
All
setting,
good, all
right?
good. All the fun
Yeah.
things we can define. Okay, my next question is obviously we picked a great charity for this event. So if people don't know, 100% proceeds are going to Drug Free World. And
Yeah.
this charity, what I really like is like they're a source. So they basically promote facts and truth about drugs so people can make informed decisions. Actually, tomorrow I'm talking to a lovely lady named Megan as well, and she
Oh,
runs
nice.
the Americas chapter. So she's going to share some more information. But I know I kind of asked you this when I first, we talked about you being an affiliate for this event. So why do you feel like it's super important for people to be a bit more informed about like the effects that drugs can have on you, right? And in your life.
Okay. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, even it's like Tylenol or Advil, the small
Yeah,
things that we don't even think about putting in our body. Like I'm very like maybe my pain tolerance is really good, but I just, very like I just don't want to be popping pills, right?
I know
And
what
I
you
think about
mean.
even like now in the time that we're living is that, we see like a lot of young people, like they're like, in elementary school selling drugs. Like
I
they should not
know,
be
I
doing this.
know,
Like being recruited by, adults. Like it's just should not be. It
I
should
know.
not be, right? It's just really sad.
It is, and it's one of those things, like I'd say for myself too, like I guess I was a little bit like naive. Like I do, like I will admit that, like naive to some of the things that occur like in this world and where we live and the
Yeah,
conditions that people live in and the things that they just like go through or like what their reality of their life is, right? And when I like kind of saw what this non-for-profit organization was doing, I'm like, wow, like this is really amazing that there's people who like are really fighting to make a difference and help people, because like it could be anyone, right? Like there's some friends or people that I even know in my circle, and I would have never known that they were like addicted to drugs. So like that's the
yeah,
other thing too, right? And it's like, if there's something that I can do and be more responsible and just like helping to make sure like, raising money goes to the right source and that they are working on
exactly.
projects that actually do thing. I think it's like really important when we like there's people like us who have like a voice and people who follow us. So it's like we can do more, even if it's something simple
Exactly.
like us putting on this amazing event that everyone gets to hear from at a great price, but it all goes to charity,
Oh,
right?
yeah, you
So
can't beat that. You absolutely cannot beat that.
no.
100% towards to them and everything. So it'll be really great.
So good. Okay, so lastly, I just wanted to kind of recap if anyone just joined. We were talking about the online seminar that's happening with Elena Cardone. This is the amazing Gina, and she is an affiliate. She's a big fan of. Yeah, so if you're interested in getting tickets, the link is in my bio. It's probably in yours too, right, Gina?
It is,
Like,
yeah.
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 Perfect. So grab your seat. We're already 40% sold out. So please do not wait. I feel like some people wait. I totally get it. I've been that person
Last
too,
minute, I know.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'll buy the day before, but we want to make sure you get your spot. It's going to be amazing. This event also includes like a really great digital handout so you can enjoy after the event as well. So it's a 1 hour conversation with the amazing Elena Cardone. She's yeah, I'm like, there's so much about her. Actually, she's going to share herself, like her own story on this call, which is really cool if you don't follow her. So like kind of how she got to where she is now in her life. So she works with Grant Cardone, who's like her husband. They do business and real estate and sales. They both write books. She's written her own book, How to Build an Empire. So she helps couples kind of fortify together and achieve their goals. And she's also writing a book for men. So I wanted to do a little surprise thing. The next person who buys their ticket today, and so you just DM, I guess, like me or Gina, if you saw this Instagram, and we'll look for your name in Eventbrite. You're going to get a free copy of Elena's book, and it's going to be signed by her, which is amazing.
Awesome.
That's like so nice, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like a nice little Bible that you can have, and it'll be signed by her, which is beautiful. So yeah, you'll get to know Gina a bit more on the call. There's going to be 45 minutes after Elena talks for like networking with other people. We're going to go over the exercise. You can pick Gina's brain, whatever you want to do. It's going to be so much fun. So definitely grab your
Awesome.
tickets. Oh, another one of my friends just joined. I'm like, so many good people. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Gina, or what are you thinking?
No, I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I see like everybody's like highs and stuff like that, so I didn't want to ignore you.
I
But pay
know.
attention.
I wish there was like a function where you could like respond to people. It's so weird. I like lean in
I
to
know.
like
I
wave or
know.
type, but you're kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, well, I guess we can end it here. Thank you so much for everyone who logged on today. Grab your tickets for this amazing online seminar. There's incredible affiliates who are going to be talking to me over Instagram Live for the next week and a half. The event is on June 2nd, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST, and 100% goes to Drug Free World. So it's going to be amazing. Yay!
Yay.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks for your
Thanks,
time,
guys.
Gina. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, bye, hon.